And I think if she says I'm a female, she's a female. Doesn't matter about anything else with her past or her bits or anything. She's a female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're upfront about it.
G'day, everyone. Welcome to the Bothy. I'm Chris.
G'day, I'm Al.
Candace Owens got a phone call from the Donald.
Yep.
One of our faves.
Yep.
About Brigitte Macron.
Yeah, about not talking about her anymore.
Here is what happened, all right? I realize that Emmanuel Macron is in Washington, D.C., February 24th. He is in Washington, D.C., and he had departed the White House just hours before I received the call. When I call that person back, they tell me something that is even stranger. Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war unless you stop speaking about his wife. And I'm just going, what? And I get another message that's like, hey, keep your phone on. And anyways, this phone call is coming from Florida. I pick up the phone and lo and behold, so here's what happened. I'm negotiating this thing. I'm negotiating Ukraine and Russia, and you wouldn't believe how many parts are part. It is President Donald J. Trump. He is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative.
What's that about, mate?
I don't know, but funnily enough, she'd already finished her episodes on him, so she'd finished it anyway.
She'd moved on.
Yeah.
So he's rekindled it without trying to rekindle it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've looked at about I think 3 or 4 of them that were quite interesting, and I can see why she believes Brigitte is a bloke because there's so little evidence about her life before Macron.
So what did Donald ask?
That she stopped
Talking or accusing or
stop talking,
Just
stop talking about it, just for a while, and not to mention this phone call.
Whoops.
For a while.
Is Mrs. Macron Mrs. Macron?
Well, it depends if you believe Candace Owens. And I really like Candace. She's very, very smart, very articulate. She really done a lot of research on the Macrons and her life before Macrons. And I'm tending to think that maybe I believe Candace and Macron is a mister. Or was a mister.
I really rate Candace as well. I really rated her back when she was doing the Black Lives Matter documentary and when she was a part of that media organisation. Since she's gone out on her own and she's chased this story and the Harvey story lately, which I'm not...
The Harvey one's the one that you got put off. Yeah. Because he's a wanker. But she did say...
And a rapist.
He is...
He's in jail for a rape.
Yeah, well, she did say he is morally tainted big time.
Yeah. So let's go back to Mr. and Mrs. Macron.
Yeah. Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, in this day and age of secrets and the cesspool of lies that we get told by our governments, every government, and that bollocks that happened 3 years ago with a bloody, you got to get this thing because it's going to save your life, that bollocks.
Oh, the jab.
Yeah, I don't think we can say it though, can we?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, well, that rubbish.
Yeah.
I woke up and I'd rather just know the truth, They want to know all our truth with all these bloody cameras going up everywhere. So why shouldn't we know their truths?
So what if that is the truth? What if the truth is she's a female?
Then she's a female.
So in that case, she should feel aggrieved. These really top...
Answer me this. Why, if she is completely in the right and there's nothing to see here, why is she not taking Candace to court?
Yeah, I don't know.
For defamation of character?
I don't know.
That's another reason why I think, if somebody was telling me I was a girl before, I would take them to court if I could. If I had money like these people do, I would take them to court in a heartbeat.
I don't know.
If I was right.
If you're right. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know whether, because Candace genuinely believes what she's saying, there is no defamation case, because she would just put that on the next person down the line. I don't know, mate. I wouldn't have a clue. But for me, I don't care if she's male or female. I couldn't care less. In her eyes and in Emmanuel's eyes, she's a female. Yep. And that's all that really matters, right? So I don't think the issue is whether she's male or female. I think your issue is the lies.
Yeah, the just bloody complete.
And I think, and the French do live their lives differently to us in the rest of the Western world or in Australia, where it might be more frowned upon. Here, it isn't there. And I think if she says I'm a female, she's a female. Doesn't matter about anything else with her past or her bits or anything. She's a female. Take her at her word, and I don't see the issue.
I feel like I get more aggrieved the more I hear about the lies the government spiel out. Our government, the British government, the American government. It would just be nice if something was real and something was like, yeah, she is a man or was a man. Not only that, they got voted in by the French people. Now, if they'd come clean and said, well, she used to be a man, now she's a woman, do you think she'd still have got in?
Hey, I think you would have. I think the French would be more accepting of that.
So what's the issue?
Maybe that proves she is a lady. No?
Look.
I don't know, mate. I don't know what she is. To be honest, it doesn't bother me. She can be whatever she likes.
Yeah. If you're upfront about it.
Yeah. Well, maybe she doesn't want to be upfront about it. There'd be a lot of people that now present as the opposite sex to how they were born that don't want people to know. They just want to be accepted for what they now are.
Yeah. I'm not convinced of that.
No?
Nah.
We agree on some things. It shouldn't be taught in schools.
No.
Or preschools.
No. Why kids are confused enough as it is. What do they need all this for?
Right. For me, I really, once you're 18, be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do, as long as it's legal.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah. So I'm all for her being a her. And if she was once a he, I don't really care. I'm not as caught up in the lie about it because in her mind, and so in Brigitte's mind and in Emmanuel's mind, I'm sure there's no question. She is a she. Yep. Regardless of the past.
Yeah.
She is a she. And she may well have been a she when they met. So he might not have known anything other than she's a she.
Yeah.
Yep. Apart from being slapped on a plane, their relationship seems quite friendly. And apart from the way she sits, she seems quite feminine. If you see photos of her, and I'm not talking about photos now, I'm talking about photos from when he first became president, and even before.
Yeah.
She's very feminine. Her body shape's very feminine.
Well, Donald thought she was a woman.
Donald thought she was a woman. Yeah. And so did Melania.
But there are a few suspect things that are in her little world. I mean, the fact that her own, I don't know if it's her personal plastic surgeon, but this plastic surgeon, his main job is to make men look like women. That's one of his, like, men will go to this plastic surgeon to be more feminine looking. And that seems to be her plastic surgeon. And so there are things you could go, well, why doesn't she just have a normal plastic surgeon?
Wouldn't all of the top plastic surgeons specialise in that sort of treatment?
Yeah. I can only go off what Candace said.
100%.
Yeah. I love Candace.
I like Candace too. But on this one, I don't know. First of all, I think to myself, I don't care. Yeah. Yet here we are talking about it. And second of all, I don't think it matters. She can be whoever she wants to be. Right now, she's Brigitte Macron, the president's wife, looking for her age. Yeah, lovely. She presents beautifully. The rest of the world welcome her with open arms. Why doesn't Candace and those few before her that have criticised her?
Well, I mean, they had that, I can't remember what his name was. It was a French investigator, and he actually colluded with Candace. And Candace I think she got a lot of information off this one guy that was convinced that Brigitte was born a man. And that was pretty interesting.
Don't you reckon if there was any sort of truth, Marine Le Pen would have been, well, I know the truth.
Where's Le Pen now?
Well, she's ostracised.
Yeah.
But not because of that.
Yeah, I know.
Because she was using money like she shouldn't have been.
Like all of them.
Like every other politician in France is. I don't know. I mean, you'd have thought that his opposition would have
thrown that out.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr.
Macron.
Mr. Macron?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Mr. and Mrs. And I don't care.
Yeah.
and it shouldn't matter.
Yep.
And if they've lied, I don't think they believe they're lying. I think they genuinely believe that she's a she. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And good work, Candace.
Candace, do you mind if we play a bit of your video? All right, thanks everyone. Let us know what you think in the comments,
Thanks,
or
guys.
if you care.
Yeah.
See ya.